Hello all and welcome back to my channel, Drunk Crafts with Paige. I am Paige and this week I am drinking just a regular old unfiltered hard cider. Not only do I have two small triangle canvases that I don't really know what to do with, but I thought we could give an old technique another shot. A while ago we tested out balloon dipping with acrylic pouring, and the idea is that you get these cool kind of blooms where the balloon sets into it and it creates cool cells. However, when we tried it out the first time, that's not really what we got. We got a piece that my husband really likes, but it was a circle wreath of flowers that ended up just having pink, reddish, orange splotches, more or less. And I think I figured out why that happened. We didn't get cool cells because we painted the wreath on first and then let it dry. We were not applying wet paint on top of wet paint and smushing them all together. And I think that is why I didn't get the result I was looking for. So this time, not only are we using 3 different triangle canvases to create a triptych, but we are going to try out the balloon dipping once more. And hopefully it will turn out better than it did the first time. So if you're interested in seeing this week's project, please continue watching. Here's the setup of our triple canvases, our triptych. I've got 2 of those tiny triangles that I thought would be nice on either side, and our big one right here in the middle. I have not decided yet. I don't think I like them one way or like up or down. I think keeping it kind of in the middle is a nice in-between. I've got this tannish color. I decided to use that for our base color, and I've got some like aqua, I got a light blue, a darker brown, and kind of a pinkish shade. Those are all gonna be kind of the splats of our balloons. As I said, I'm gonna try this wet paint on wet paint. I think that will actually give us cells. So we're gonna start out by flooding all 3 canvases with that tan color, and then we're gonna start having our balloon fun. Appears as though I have everything covered. I have such a hard time spreading out paint and getting like all of the corners, everything covered. But looks like that's everything. I've got various sizes of balloons behind me. I envision these 2 kind of being a bit more full of the balloons, while this one is kind of like a path, because I want all 3 to kind of intertwine together to be one big piece. So let's try just a couple of dots of paint. Okay, and let's see. So there's kind of a splat. Maybe I think I need to put more paint down. Is that? Just a bit of that. Okay. It's definitely spreading out more than the last time we did this. Now let's hit it with the heat gun, see what it does. Not a lot, but let's keep adding some of this paint. I think it turns out better if you add more paint to this. One of the side effects of touching the canvas with that balloon is sometimes it picks up some of the base coat, and I don't want it to expose any canvas. I'm going to continue following this trail. I'm going to do some of the light blue. Okay. Start there. Might do some like on the corners, because as I said, I don't want this to just be a mostly blank canvas. Now we're gonna move on to the other triangle. Hopefully it's still wet. Well, one of the tiny triangles definitely turned out different than the other, and this part kind of ended up being a bit wider than I meant to. There were several times that I tried to glob paint on, and it like came out really fast. This canvas is gonna be just a touch higher. So I will let all three of these dry for a bit. Once they're dry, we'll coat them in our gloss varnish, and then we'll take a look at our finished triptych. Our paintings are dry, and honestly, I have a hard time estimating how much paint I need to use, especially when I'm mixing up custom colors like I did for this piece. And I'm not sure if it was that or the fact that we were pressing the balloon down into the paint, but I have quite a few spots where there isn't a lot of paint on the canvas, so overall the thing kind of looks a little splotchy. And I think I mentioned it before, but the balloons, the splats, were really hard to control. So although I think this triple triangle triptych is really cool, it turned out a lot better than our last balloon dip, I don't think this is a technique that I will be using a lot in the future. Not only was I not a big fan of how these turned out, but when I went to go and take some footage of these pieces out in the natural light, of course, it's Michigan, we have a lot of snow right now, and when I tried to dry these paintings off, they ended up getting stuck to my table. So I do have a couple of spots where the gloss looks a little weird, and also a bit of the paint actually ripped off. But I'm gonna try to show you guys all three. Here's one of our first triangles, the tiny one, and here's the second triangle. As I said, both very cool, but very different looking. And then here is our big triangle. I do like that we did a little something in the corners. I think it looks not so bare, but you can definitely tell where the paint is just a little bit more sparse. Can I hold all three up at once? Oh my God. Show you how the triangle triptych is supposed to look. Kind of like this. Anyway, here are some clips of this piece outside in the natural light where you can see all three canvases. Overall, I do really like the way that this piece turned out. I think the triple triangles are a different spin on a triptych. They're not all exactly the same size, and it looks a little different compared to just several rectangle canvases. I like the vibe, not so much the technique we decided to use for this one. But if you did enjoy the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I post crafting videos most Fridays, and if you're interested, all of my social media links are in the description box below. I'll see you guys all for the next one. Cheers!